What does sacrifice have to do with a holy marriage? According to Ephesians chapter 5, verses 22 and following, it's at the very heart of a holy marriage. Someone says, I want a happy marriage. That's great, but you better make a holy marriage your primary goal. Because we see that wives are to submit to their husbands. Is that easy? No, it's tough. Husbands are to be willing to die for their wives just as Christ gave himself for the church. Sacrifice is tough. And yesterday we talked about Abraham in Genesis 22 offering his son Isaac. Can you imagine how difficult that must have been? And the husband or the wife that's not willing to sacrifice for their partner, they are incapable of having a holy marriage until they are willing to sacrifice themselves. What is the nature of that sacrifice? Well, first and foremost, the nature of sacrifice is that of giving. Isn't that an interesting idea? We are to give of ourselves. We are to give to the other person. Abraham was willing to give his son, Isaac, to the Lord. Absolutely profound. Cannot begin to imagine how difficult that must have been. But not only that, the nature of the giving is that of the highest quality. We know that God certainly did that. John 3 and verse 16, oftentimes referred to as the golden text of the Bible. For God so loved the world that he gave what? His only begotten Son. He gave the very best. According to Hebrews chapter 7 and verse number 26, we read that this Jesus was holy, harmless, undefiled, separate from sinners. That's amazing. God didn't give us a second-rate sacrifice. He gave us the very best. If you were living under the old covenant, you weren't allowed to give the blind and the lame animals. You had to give your very best. Now, the significance of that, if you're a breeder, you want the very best animal you've got to continue propagating that bunch of animals that you have. Not only that, a sacrifice is offered to receive. A sacrifice is not offered to receive, but merely to give. If you're in a marriage where you say, I want to get, we all do. But a holy marriage, just think, if both partners had as their emphasis, I want to give to the other person. That's the nature of sacrifice. Join us again tomorrow.